Hello YouTube, welcome to a new program review, and we are going to take a look at Gagang's training regimen. And we're going to open with the introduction that he gives before he introduces the program. So, he tells me I only have the time to train 3 times a week for an hour. So he's using single rest pose sets for a lot of exercises. The rest pose protocol he's using is a rep goal of 25. That's already very high in terms of reps, with 2 poses of 45-60 seconds, which is a very small interval. Most likely you will not be able to go back to baseline using that little time. So for example, he does 12 reps, he rests 8 reps, he rests 5 reps for 25 total. Right off the bat, when I see that, if you can do 12 reps, rest and get 8 additional reps, you are most likely outside of any interesting intensity rep ranges. And you say that you do that because you don't have much time, which in my opinion means that you're trying to pack as much tonnage as possible in as little time as possible. I'm not saying it's bad, I am saying that most likely you would be able to get less tonnage and get similar hypertrophy results if you stayed more intense, and being intense usually allows you to save time. I'm going to explain that as I go through the program, but you continue. I've marked this as 1 times 25 reps, blah blah blah. He does supersets. He doesn't include deadlifts because he's been told they're bad for high reps. Depends on the variation. If you do regular deadlifts for strength work, then yes, you shouldn't be doing high reps in my opinion. And you don't have enough weight for the low reps. That's an interesting point. So maybe you do 25 reps because you don't have enough weight. Then that is fine. You have to do make do with what you have, right? I might eventually have to leave my gym and go in the mountains for a few weeks, in which case I will have nothing to lift and I might have to lift rocks, do Olympic rings on trees, etc. In that case, that's the best you can do, so that's fine. Your goal is size, which most people on this channel should follow that because it's a bodybuilding channel. Focusing on shoulders, arms, and back. Okay, and you tell me to critique overall and improve whatever I see fit, which I will do, because I always do it. But it needs to stay short, that's fine, I understand. 90 minutes max. 90 minutes is a lot of time. I train for 3 hours, but I'm a little bit of a special case in that regard because of the way my body responds to high intensity and volume, etc. I might go into details, but I don't think many people need to spend as much time in the gym as I do to get results. So we're gonna get to the program that is fairly short, so it's going to be easy. But first you give me your exercise selection. So you do push presses, which if you do for shoulder, the issue with the push press is that you don't know how much the legs are helping. I really do not like the push press as an hypertrophy exercise because you're missing the elastic response and the stretch of the shoulder that touch and go provides, which is also why for size, not for strength, for size, posed overhead press I think is inferior to touch and go. You do weighted chin-ups for 25 reps. That's super high for weighted chin-ups. Widowmaker squat, 20 reps, which here is great for squats because of the method you're using. Barbell calf raise 2 times 30, which is also good, high volume for the calves. Bench press 25 reps, I think it's very high. Dumbbell rows 3 times 20, this is okay, with 2-minute rest. Strict overhead press for 25 reps. The overhead press is a weird lift, I find, for progression because you need a mix of intensity and volume to progress. You're way too high on the volume window here. Good mornings, 3 times 20, I like this one because I feel like the hamstring responds very well to that type of high reps. Strict barbell curls, 1 times 25, not terrible, that's okay. Lateral raises, 1 times 20, that's for me, only one set of 20 is not the best for shoulders for certain reasons because you might you might end up in an intensity window that is potentially going to create injury without creating the hypertrophy stimulus that you seek. Because the shoulders are a very delicate group of muscles. They are very mobile, too mobile sometimes to a fault because they are easy to tweak. Dumbbell incline curl, which is the lift I just don't like, but you do 2 times 20, bend overhead tricep extensions, 2 times 20. This I like because bend movements should be done, in my opinion, high volume, low intensity. Face pulls with tricep push downs, 3 times 20, which here I like because it's isolation movements, so it's fine to do them in a higher rep range because it's as far away as strength work as you can potentially get. And for forearms, you have Captain of Crush grippers. So be careful with this because the grippers don't work the entirety of the forearm. I find that they work mainly this portion here, that then so you get that weird popping when it gets really big, but it doesn't really work the rest of the forearm that much. It's excellent for grip, and because it's going to give you a strong grip, it's going to also improve your ability to grip things, which is going to give you higher potential for forearm training. Just a thing to keep in mind. They are not the best for hypertrophy. And then you tell me you do a couple of sets of farmer's walk for conditioning on rest days, which is great. I think that farmer's walk, I'm deliberating doing that myself. The issue is that it would be an investment of money that wouldn't be worth it for me because the landscape is frozen 8 months out of 12 here, and by frozen I mean you cannot go outside and you cannot do farmer's walk. So but I like if you are able to do that and do them on the rest days as GPP for grip, extra yoke training, that's really good. So you also, before getting into the actual program, you tell me that you like power building a lot, and so you do both strength and hypertrophy, which in reality that's what most of bodybuilding is. It's power building. I don't like the term power building because anything hybrid is lacking in a sense, in my opinion. But you need strength to get bigger, and you need to get bigger to build strength. With this program, your objective is to progressively overload, which should be everyone's goal, which is why you divide it that way. You don't know if it's the best. On push-pull legs, you usually lose strength on biceps, shoulders, and triceps, okay? You've been lifting for 2 years and doing the program for a month, and you like it. You only have access to a barbell, dumbbells, and 1 cable. Okay, now, this is a good example of someone who gave me a lot of indications to go off from when it comes to their program, so I have a very good idea of what I'm dealing with. Let's go. Your day 1 is chest and back, which, as far as non-synergetic splits go, is a good one. By non-synergetic, I mean that when you work the muscles of the back, you don't work the muscles of the chest, meaning that chest, a synergetic day for chest would be chest, triceps, shoulders, because these muscles are going to be involved when you work the chest regardless. The synergetic muscles for back would be forearms, potentially bicep, but you can have a back only. It's tough to have a back only day in a sense because your posterior chain is going to take into to fire when you work the upper back, etc. Okay, so you do bench press 3 by 5. Wait, I hope this is not someone else. I think this is someone else. I think I just forgot to write the name of someone. I don't think so, but then I wonder why you posted the first program and then a second program. Alright, I'm just going to critique the second program as well. If it's you, it's you. If it's not you, someone might pick it up and do something about it. So chest and back, you do bench press 3 by 5, okay. I explained in my video about 5 by 5 and 3 by 5 why I'm not a fan of these rep ranges, but 3 by 5, as long as you complement it with more horizontal presses, is not terrible. Okay, no, it's you. It's definitely you. Okay. It was confusing for a second. Then you do weighted pull-ups until you get 25. I don't think that's a good way to program for progression, for size, for strength, because the range that you're giving yourself in terms of a number to reach so that you can progress is too big. you are going to shortchange yourself. There are certain programs like 5x5 that have you put weight on the bar too fast. And there are certain methods that have you put weight on the bar too slow. This is one of them. Because, as you explained to me, you do 12 reps, 8 reps, 5 reps until you get 25. And therefore, if you can get 25 on this, in my opinion, it means that you're already sandbagging, because your ability to go back to baseline with the weight shouldn't be so good that you can get 60% of the first 12 reps after a short rest. It shouldn't be possible. So if you want my opinion, I would scrap that technique you're doing. I understand you're trying to do only one set. Well, if you're only doing one set, do an AMRAP. Do an AMRAP with 75, 85%, get as many reps as possible, and just repeat that AMRAP every single time you do it. I think it's going to be more conducive to progress. You're going to experience more intensity, and it's going to be just as fast, if not faster. And if you want to get that, because I understand what you're trying to do here, you're trying to artificially increase the intensity by repeating the weight after a short rest. You know what you can do? For the weighted chin-up and for every single lift, you do that AMRAP as many reps as possible with the 75-85% intensity, and right after that, take weight off and do another set at 60% and push it to failure. The weight is still going to challenge your ability to go back to baseline. You're still going to get that extra volume because you want to do 25 reps for the additional tonnage, and I think you're going to get better results. So, after that, you do incline dumbbell press, 3 sets of 6 to 10. I really like that rep range. I think it's excellent, and it's an accessory that complements the barbell bench press. After that, barbell rows, 3x8. Okay, 3x8 is good for barbell rows. You're not evolving in the rep range, but you're high enough in the volume window that you're not going to have poor form on the rows, most likely. And you superset with barbell upright rows with a wide grip. Okay, excellent superset. As long as you do the upright rows properly, that's good for the shoulders. And then you do incline push-ups to failure. I think that's as far as I see here, that's a pretty good day. For chest and back, besides the weighted pull-up, the way you do them, as I said, because you get your strength work with the 3x5 on the bench, and then you have enough lifts that complement the horizontal and vertical presses that the lack of volume of the 3x5 is not a problem, and you get a lot of flexibility with the rep ranges. So good day. Day 1, I think, is a good day. Day 2, quads. See, that's an issue. When we talk about body parts, there's no such thing as quads. Just like for your day 1, there's no such thing as chest. Chest always goes with triceps and shoulders. Back always goes with certain muscles, etc. If you're going to base your days on a body part splits, you have to go all the way. You have to do it properly. So quads, which is really a quads, glutes, and hamstrings day, you do squats 3x10. I don't like the 3x10 on the squats, because think about a 3x5. If you can get 5 reps on the first and 5 reps on the last, you sandbag yourself for the first set. It's worse with 3x10. And I think, okay, so you don't use a single rest pose with this, which I assume means that it's strength work and you rest as much as you want, which is good. So squat 3x10, not a fan. I think that if you want to stay with a 30 total tonnage, you can go with a 4 by you can do a 4 by 6 to 8, a 4 by 7 to 10. Anything that's going to allow you to progress and not just do 10-10-10, more weight, 10-10-10, more weight. After that, you do hip thrusts, 3x12, which I love the rep range. I do. Fixed rep ranges on variations are better. But if you want it to be even better, so that you get more flexibility, you should do evolving rep ranges on the strength work with the squats. And then you say maybe some ab work. Your leg is by far your best part of your body, so you don't want it to grow too much, okay? I get that. I still think that changing the rep range on the squat is not going to be responsible for too much growth, but it will make it more flexible for the rest of the program. So okay, minimal leg training, you don't want them to grow, that's perfectly fine, I understand. Day 3, shoulders and arms. Okay, so shoulders and arms, actually a good split. Why? Because when you use your shoulders, you use your triceps, which is part of the arm. Overhead press, 3 sets of 6 to 8. Evolving rep range, I love it. It's a good evolving rep range with the number of sets and the window you give yourself with the reps. Makes total sense. After that, you do side lateral raises, you cheat a little and do a 3x10. I'm fine with the 3x10 with the variations, as I said before, that's good. Then you do close grip bench, 3x8 to 10. Love it. A good way to get more additional volume for your horizontal press without taxing the shoulders is the close grip bench. You also get more triceps. Some people argue that you also get more chest because there is more range of motion. That is debatable, but excellent choice as a variation. Then you do French press with a dumbbell. Okay. Okay. So here you're getting a little more long head of the tricep work, which in my opinion was a little lacking so far in the training. So okay, that's good. And you said that in Brazil that you call it French press. Everyone calls it French press. So okay, French press. I like the rep range, perfect. And then triceps push down rope, 3 sets of 12 to 15. I love 12 to 15 for people who want that high rep count. I think is how high you should go with weight that is challenging. If you want to just get some pump, you can do 50 reps if you want. But if you have progression in mind, that's good. And then you do barbell cheat curls, 3x8. I love cheat curls. I think that with a barbell, they are counterproductive because the implement of the barbell gives you too much of an advantage, meaning that you end up doing a supinated clean. With a dumbbell, you don't have that advantage. So with the dumbbell, it's much closer to an actual curl than with a barbell, just my opinion. And also 3x8, a cheat curl is a strength work movement. So you should also, if you want to stick with the barbell variation, do evolving rep range so that you promote strength. That being said, it's a cheat movement. Cheat movements can be dangerous, and doing a 3x8 is going to artificially reduce the intensity and your ability to push the weight. So it also serves as a protection for injuries. So if that's what you have in mind, keep at it. And then hammer curls, 3 sets of 8 to 10. I really like that too. I think here, and that's your first day where I'm sort of seeing something that we can superset. Let me go back to day 1. On day 1, you do bench press, we don't superset that. Weighted pull-ups, we don't superset that. I think the incline dumbbell press and the barbell row can be superset. But the issue is that you already superset the barbell row with the superset barbell, which makes more sense. And we don't want to superset the incline push-ups with the dumbbell press. So I just went back to explain why I supersetted nothing in the day 1, just so that you understand my mindset. Okay, so day 1 no superset, day 2 no superset. On day 3, I see some supersets, some potential supersets. You will, of course, not superset the overhead press with the lateral raises because you tell me you cheat, which means you go heavy on the lateral raises. The close grip bench is its own variation, and I would like it to stay as a potential secondary grade strength work, so no superset either. But you can superset, and I advise you to do so, your French press with the barbell cheat curls, so you can start with one or the other. And you can superset the hammer curls with something else too. So here, because the French press with the rep ranges that I see in the barbell cheat curls too, they are going to be higher intensity, which means you push more weight. You're going to try if you want to, but I think there is a better way to optimize the superset. Superset your French press with the hammer curls and superset the barbell cheat curls with the tricep push downs. It's not going to take away from your training. You're going to find that the pump localizes in the arm, and you're going to have it's going to be a good feeling. And working the triceps and the biceps in a superset can be beneficial for growth. Don't knock it till you try it. Okay, day 3 in the pocket was a pretty good day. I like the rep ranges, gang. And day 4, is an hamstring Romanian deadlift. So it's an hamstring day, which also means you're working your glute and your lower back. You do Romanian deadlift, 3 sets of 8 to 12, and then you do dumbbell leg curls, and that's it. But you don't want your legs to grow too much, so I have nothing to say about that day. It's a good day. If this is an upper body focused program, but apparently that's what you want, so that's good. You rest on day 5 and then you repeat. Based on the 4-day split you just gave me, I think that your frequency is pretty excellent. It's well thought out. With the way I modified your program, it should not be longer than 90 minutes. I didn't modify much, to be honest, because I really liked your program. Based on what you told me and your goal, this aligns with your goals. So good job on the programming on this one. I would say though that from what I see, you want more back. Yeah. So from what I see here, you have plenty of bicep work, you have plenty of tricep work. I would say maybe add skull crushers somewhere for long head, because you only do French press for the long head. As far as shoulders go, you do plenty of shoulders work. Because you do strict overhead press, do incline dumbbell press, do lateral raises, so you're going to get good results from that. One thing that might be lacking though is your upper back volume. I think you can really up the upper back volume, meaning what? You do weighted pull-ups, you do barbell rows, that's good. But what about the day 3? I don't see much upper back work on the day 3. And let me tell you this, your upper back can take a buttload of volume. So if you want to start implementing more upper back on the day 3, you should. And I would also go as far as saying that since your day 2 and 4, the lower body days, are fairly light and short, go nuts, add more upper back volume there too. You would be surprised as how much recovery ability your upper back has when you start pushing it. The upper back is one of the few muscles I think that you can really work every single day, and as long as you manipulate volume and intensity, not only will you recover, so it's not going to damage your strength, but you will also see gains because the upper back responds very well to frequency and high volume. So that's going to be my critique for that. Thank you for submitting the program, gang. If you comment, I will pin your comments. If you have any questions, I will answer them. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.